Alright, so in this example here I have 4 in brackets x plus 3 equals 6x, and I'm supposed to solve for x, and then I have to do a check to see if what I solved is correct. So first I'm going to solve this by distributing this 4. And I'm going to have 4x plus 4 plus 3, 12 equals 6x. Okay, then I want letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I'm going to bring over this 12 over to the other side. So I have subtract by 12 here, subtract by 12 here. So no more 12 on the left hand side. I'm just left with 4x equals 6x minus 12. Then let's bring over this 6 to the other side. So I'm going to minus 6x here, minus 6x here. No more 6x on the right hand side, and I'm left with negative 12 in the right hand side, and 4 minus 6, that's negative 2x. Then to get rid of this negative 2 and have x by itself, I'm going to divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. No more negative 2 on my left hand side, and I'm left with x equaling to a negative, and a negative becomes a positive. 12 divided by 2 becomes 6. So when I do a check, I'm going to take my x equaling to 6, what I got as my answer, and I'm going to put it where I see an x in the original question. I'm not going to use any of these equations here that I made. I'm going to do the original question. So I'm going to have 4 in brackets, instead of x, I'm going to put a 6. 6 plus 3 equals 6 times by, there's an x there, so I'm going to put another 6, 6. And then I'm going to work it out on each side of the equal sign. So here I have to first do my brackets. So 6 plus 3 is 9. 4 in the 4 outside equals, well, 6 times 6 is 36. Then 4 times 9 is 36. And now I have to see, does this equation, is this equation here, is this true? Is 36 equal to 36? Yes, it is. So since it's true, what I got here as x is also correct. Alright, so here I have 1 over 5x minus 1/2 in brackets x minus 4 equals x minus 11. So first I have to figure out what x is. So I'm going to solve for x. First I have to multiply each term by the greatest common factor so I could get rid of these denominators. So in order to get rid of the denominators, I'm going to times everything by 10. Okay, so take away the 5, I'm going to have 2 in brackets 1x, whatever is left within the brackets, minus, this is going to be a 5 outside, so 5 in brackets 1 times by x minus 4. Then I'm going to have 10x, and 10 times 11, that's going to give me negative 110. Okay, now I'm going to clean this guy up here, so I'm going to have 2x minus, well, let's see here, there's negative 5 and 1, so that's just going to be negative 5, x minus 4, 10x, negative 110, and then distribute this negative 5 to every term within the bracket. 2x, negative 5x, negative, and a negative becomes a positive, positive 20. Then clean this up, I have negative 3x here. Then letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I'm going to bring over this 10x to the other side. So I'm going to minus 10x here, minus 10x here. So I'm going to have here negative 13x plus 20, negative 110. Then minus 20 here, minus 20 here. I'm going to have negative 13x equals to negative 110 minus 20 is going to give me negative 130. Then I'm going to divide by negative 13, divide by negative 13, and I'm just going to write x over here on the side. X then equals to, once this cancels out, to negative and negative becomes a positive, positive 10. Okay, so again, when I'm going to check, I'm going to replace wherever I see an x in the original question with this positive 10 that I figured out. Okay, so I'm just going to put the check over right here on the side here. So I'm going to have 1, 5, 10 minus 1/2 10 minus 4 equals 10 minus 11. Okay, so let's work this out here. So technically there is a 1 under here. So 1 times 10 is 10. 5 times 1 is 5. Okay, I'm going to work out this bracket here. So I'm going to still have my 1/2. 10 minus 4, that's 6. 10 minus 11, that's negative 1. Here, this 10 over 5, well, 10 divided by 5 is 2, so I'm going to have 2 here. Then I have 1/2 times by 6. Technically, there is a 1 on here, so negative 1 times by 6 is negative 6. 2 times by 1 is 2. Equals negative 1. Then I have 2. 6 divided by 2 is going to give me a 3. Then 2 minus 3 is going to give me a negative 1. So is this equation down here correct? Is negative 1 equal to negative 1? Yes, it is. So that means my x equaling to 10 is also correct. Alright, so here I have 3x plus 1 is greater than or equal to x minus 7. So first I have to figure out what x is. So letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I'm going to bring over this x over here. So I'm going to have minus x here, minus x here. I'm going to be left with 2x plus 1 greater than or equal to negative 7. Then I'm going to have negative 1 here and negative 1 here because I want to get rid of this plus 1, so that's why I subtracted. So I'm going to be left with just 2x greater than or equal to negative 7. Subtract by negative 1, that's going to give me negative 8. Then I'm going to divide by 2 here and divide by 2 here. Since I'm dividing by a positive number, I'm not dividing by a negative number, I don't have to touch this guy. I will leave it as greater than or equal to. Take out my 2's here, and x is going to be equal to negative divided by positive is a negative. 8 divided by 2 is 4. This says here that x is equal to or greater than to negative 4. So if I'm just going to draw this number line here, and here's my negative 4 right here. Okay, here's going to be positive 4. And it's saying that x is any number that is greater than negative 4. So any number greater than 4 or any number down this line here. Okay, so I'm going to choose any number here in this number line that is greater than negative 4. So you know what? Let's choose the most easiest way to do this is just choosing something like 0. Okay, I'm going to be passing 0 here, so 0 is one of the numbers I could use. Okay, so here in my check, I'm going to have 3, 0 there, plus 1 greater than, I'm going to put another 0 here because there's another x again, minus 7. Okay, so let's figure this one out. 3 times 0 is 0, plus 1 greater than or equal to 0 minus 7 is negative 7. Okay, then work this one out. 0 plus 1, that's just 1, greater than negative 7. So now I look at this equation here. Is 1 greater than or equal to negative 7? Well, it is actually, because when I write out my number line again, 1 is going to be here, positive 1 is going to be here, and negative 7 is going to be way down here. This is going to be, this will be where negative 7 is. So 1 is greater than or equal to negative 7. So this is true. So if this is true, that means this, what I found here is also true. Okay, so here I have 2x is greater than 5x minus 6. So again, letters on the left, numbers on the right. So I'm going to bring over this 5x over to the left-hand side of the equation. Okay, so I'm going to minus 5x to cancel this x out. 2x minus 5x is going to give me negative 3x. greater than, then I'm going to have left with negative 6. Now in order to get rid of this negative 3, which is being multiplied by x, because I want x by itself, I'm going to divide by negative 3, and I'm going to divide here by negative 3. This negative 3 cancels out, and I'm going to be left with x. But notice, when I divide by a negative number, like how I did here, I have to switch the sign. Okay, if it is a greater than, like it is here, I have to change it to a less than. If it's a less than, I would have to flip it to a greater than. That's only when you're dividing by a negative number. So back to here, I have negative 6 divided by negative 3, and negative will give me a positive. 6 divided by 3 is going to give me a 2. So if I write out this number line here, okay, so here's 0, 2 is going to be right here, okay? Okay, so it's saying here x is less than 2. So any number down this way will work out in this equation. So I want to pick any number that's less than 2. And again, I could choose 0 like I did last time, but let's choose another number. Let's choose number 1 actually. Okay, so I'm going to use 1 in place of x. So x is going to equal to 1 here. So I'm going to have 2, wherever c in x, I'm going to put a 1. Now remind you, I could have used any number here, but 1, 0s, any of those, if it falls under x, those are the easiest ones to use. Less than 5, 1 minus 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Less than 5 times 1 is 5. Subtract by 6. Then I'm going to have still 2 here. 5 minus 6 is negative 1. So I'm just going to draw this one out here. 2's here, and negative 1 is right here. So this equation is saying 2 is greater than negative 1. Is 2 greater than negative 1? Yes, it is. So this is right. So if this is right, that means this here, where I find out x, this is also correct.